The unspoken rift. A comment that changed everything. I never imagined that one careless remark could unravel the fabric of everything we had built together. But sometimes, life has a way of throwing harsh surprises our way. What started as a joke, an innocent comment meant to lighten the mood, ended up being the catalyst for the unraveling of my relationship, a growing distance. It wasn't one single moment that broke us. It was a series of small, unnoticed shifts. Slowly, over time, I felt myself becoming increasingly distant from James. The man I had once known, the one I shared late-night talks and laughter with, seemed to fade away, replaced by someone who no longer truly understood me. We would sit together, side by side, but our minds and hearts seemed miles apart. The space between us grew, not physically, but emotionally. Our connection, once so effortless, now felt like an obligation. We started spending nights in silence, glued to our phones, unable to find the words that once flowed so naturally between us. I remember the first time it hit me. The silence wasn't just the absence of conversation. It was the absence of us. A night with friends. That night, we gathered with friends, thinking it would help us reconnect. But there was an underlying tension in the air. Everyone else was carefree, laughing and reminiscing about old times. Yet I couldn't shake the feeling that we were all pretending. James and I sat next to each other, but it felt as though we were worlds apart. Our friends were so full of life, their energy contagious, but it only made the gap between us more obvious. I sat there, frustrated, trying to make sense of everything, when I blurted out, "You and your friends are like teenagers," almost taunting him. It was meant to be a joke, but the moment the words left my mouth, I regretted them. I could see the hurt in his eyes before he even spoke. The confusion, the pain. It was all there, like a punch to the gut. The fallout James didn't say a word. He just stood up, excused himself from the group, and walked out. I watched him leave, my chest tightening, feeling a cold emptiness that I couldn't shake. Our friends exchanged uncomfortable glances, unsure of what to say. I couldn't even bring myself to meet anyone's gaze. It felt like a scene from a movie, a tragedy unfolding in front of my eyes, yet I had no idea how to fix it. The next few days were a blur. I texted, called, and tried to explain that I didn't mean to hurt him, that I was just frustrated. But with every attempt to reach out, I was met with silence. His absence was more palpable than his presence ever had been. The space he once filled felt hollow, like he was never really there to begin with. The final blow. A week later, I got the message. 3 simple words. I need space. No explanation, no further communication. I knew it was coming. I had feared it, yet when those words arrived, they hit harder than I could have ever imagined. My mind raced. Was it really just that comment that destroyed everything? Or was it something deeper? Something we had both ignored for far too long. I wanted to beg him to stay, to remind him of the good times, the love we had shared. But I knew deep down that it was too late. We had both changed, and no amount of pleading could undo the damage. Regret and reflection. In the weeks that followed, I replayed everything in my mind, over and over again. What went wrong? Was it the comment? Or had there been cracks in our relationship long before I noticed? The truth is, it wasn't just about what I said. It was about the slow, insidious drift that had been happening for months. We had stopped seeing each other for who we really were. And maybe that's why it was so hard to fix things. I often wonder if James is happy now. If he found the space he needed to heal, or if he's completely moved on. I hope he's okay. I truly do. But the pain of losing him, of realizing how much I had taken him for granted, still lingers. It's like a knot in my chest that I can't untie no matter how hard I try. The fragility of relationships. I've learned that relationships are fragile. Words spoken in frustration, even without malice, can leave scars that are hard to heal. Looking back, I wish I had taken a moment to think before speaking, to hold back the words that ended up being the breaking point. Now, as I reflect on everything, I can't help but think about how easily things can slip away, how small actions can lead to irreversible consequences. I hope in time I'll be able to forgive myself for the things I said. But for now, all I have are the memories of what we once had, and the regret of not realizing what I had until it was gone. Let's talk about it. I want to know your thoughts. Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment that you regretted? Can a relationship truly be repaired after a comment like this? Or is it a sign of deeper issues? Let's have a conversation in the comments. Share your experiences, your opinions on the complexities of relationships, and how you think we can avoid letting frustration dictate our words.